Oh, wait, no, wait. Yes.
Thank you.
Good?
Yes.
Okay, it's 6:03, call this meeting to order. If everybody can rise for the invocation and pledge of allegiance.
If you'll pray with me, dear Lord, thank you for this beautiful day, and thank you for the resources that you've granted us. Please bless Huntington County and bless these leaders as we try to make the best decisions for Huntington County. In your name we pray, amen. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, skip item 1, move on to item 2, approval of the minutes from the July meeting.
I make a motion to approve the minutes from July 21st as presented.
Motion by John.
John?
Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Jamie.
Yep.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Kim, come on up.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Kim.
Hi. So the first item that I have tonight is a transfer of $700 from education training to travel expense. This would be for hotel stay for Jess and I for a floodplain conference. The second item is a transfer from demolition to contract professionals for attorney fees for Carson LLP in the amount of $13,000. I don't owe all that right now, but I do know that I'm going to have future bills come in for work that they're doing on zoning issues.
This is two separate votes.
Yes. So what's the transfer from training just to travel?
What's that?
Training just to travel? You're
Yes.
transferring
Yes.
this training into
Yes,
travel?
just for
Okay.
to cover our hotel expenses.
Motion approved.
Second.
Motion by Terry, second by Brian. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, and then the second one is,
For attorney fees.
for attorney fees, is this related to a demolition or?
No, this is not. This is just various legal matters that we've had in the department that they've had to help us out on.
Okay.
So,
You still okay in that fund?
yes, I think so. I think in our demolition fund, we have enough at least for 1 to 2 demolitions this year, which I know we'll probably have 1 at least.
Okay,
Plus, we have a separate fund for demolition that we've got, I think, 10,000 in, so,
okay.
yeah.
Motion approved.
Second. John?
Motion by Terry, second by John. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kim.
Good evening, folks. Brian Truba, Administrator for the Health Department. We're just requesting in our Health First Indiana, the 1161, in the line item 11520, which is our public health nurse line, in the amount of $2,000, and transfer that into the 1161.31200, which is our rent, to cover for the rest of the year.
What, any reason why we didn't appropriate enough for this year?
Actually, there is a good reason. When we did our budget last year, right after that, I think it was in November, everything doubled on the rent. So we didn't budget for that. So
And what's this rent for?
this is for where we have our trailer and some of our supplies for emergency preparedness. The one across the street from us there on
I
Jefferson.
remember that double, yeah. Yep. Motion approved.
Motion by Terry,
Second, Brian.
second by Brian. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Thanks, folks.
Thanks.
Have a good night.
Thank you. Hi, Bridget.
Hello. I'm here for an additional appropriation of funds into our fuel lines. 22100 is for unleaded fuel, and 22101 is diesel fuel. our fuel reimbursement to date, which goes back into MVH but hasn't been appropriated back, is $256,830 to help offset that.
So you've got 256 back, you just need 176 to get you through the end of the year? Is what
Say
you're
that
saying?
again, I'm sorry.
So you have 256 already in, but you're
Yes.
only appropriating 176 of it? Does that get you through the end of the year?
It should get us through the end of the year.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion on that.
Motion.
Shane,
Second.
second by Terry. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
And then the other transfers that I'm requesting, we did not employ part-time mowers this year. And so we're using went to use some of those funds in these other lines. Education and training, we've sent staff to Etnire, which is where they learn on chip seal and the total patcher. Dylan Weinkoop got his certification in signs. I did a bunch of training, and then we did a utility protection training. And so that's what we need the additional education and travel expense for.
What's the furniture?
That is to replace the chairs along the conference room table in my office. I don't know when they were replaced the last time, and they randomly just fall over to the ground, like fall out of it. So
And then tires is just for the,
a tractor and plow truck tires.
okay. Any other questions?
Motion approved by Keith.
Motion by
Second.
Keith, second by John. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Took you a while to get one done.
On behalf of you, here's Joachim Abrahamson requesting appropriation from my travel expense to service contract, which is in the same general fund line, from 1,032,500, 006 to 36,200 service contract. We had to repair our generator that runs all our servers downstairs. The water pump took a crap. That was $3,800. That was not planned at all. And then I went a little low on Kevin to do all our websites. I was about 1,500 short of that, so I bundled all that together so we're good for the rest of the year. Unless something else has to be fixed that I don't know about. So I'm requesting 6,000 to be.
Is that gonna kind of eat up your travel expense for the year?
Say what?
Are you gonna have any travel expense left for the year?
Yes, I do. Yes, I still have money in there. They probably return money too.
Okay.
I make a motion to approve.
John,
Second.
second by Terry. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you,
Opposed?
guys.
Thanks.
I'm here for Aaron, actually, for drug court.
Hi, Aaron.
Judge?
So we're just asking for a transfer from our insurance line item to 4 different lines, which are drug testing, incentives, travel, and miscellaneous services, which the miscellaneous services is our peer recovery coaches. That's what that's actually for. This has been approved by the DOC, which we need to get approval by the DOC first, and so we have already received that, just to transfer it.
You're okay in your group insurance line?
Yes, yeah. Erin has not taken any. We still had to budget for it.
But she's not on it?
Correct.
Okay.
At least not right now. Yeah.
Okay.
Motion to approve, Brian.
Brian, second by Keith. Any other discussion?
Brian Keith.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
Thanks,
Okay,
Judge.
thank you.
Okay, this is the item that we were unclear on that came from two meetings ago, correct?
Yep.
On the JDAI, it's hard to say. For
Not
the
the right order.
bi-weekly, it was budgeted, you just needed it into the salary ordinance, correct?
Right.
Yeah, okay.
That grant expires June 30th, so we already have the salary ordinance for the big raise. 1 through 12. Now we need, or 1 through 13, now we need pay periods 14 through 26 to explain how that is, what funding it has, so clerical situation we have with the salary ordinance.
So,
And this will clean it up then?
Yes.
For the rest of the
Until next
future?
year,
Yeah,
for
till
the end of this year,
Yeah, so we're good till December with
When
this.
those expire mid-year, it gets
Right.
more complicated because you
Sure.
have to change the salary ordinance.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Yep.
so, need to open the salary ordinance, so I'll entertain that motion.
Sure.
Shane,
Second.
second by Terry, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. So the changes being made are in front of you. Effective
I make the
pay period
motion.
14.
We
Shane?
already talked about all this.
Yep.
Know what it is.
Yep.
Okay. So Shane made a motion, do I have a second? Second by Brian. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Motion to close.
Thank you, Brian.
Second.
Second by Jamie. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Done. All right. So item 14, reviewing the estimated property tax levy limits. You sent those out, didn't you? Or-
Yeah, I mailed them out, I emailed them on August 11th, then I put them in your packet so you would have them as well.
Oh, they didn't.
Yep.
We do this every year, this gives the estimated property tax levies and the estimated reductions due to circuit breakers for every taxing unit. Once you review it, we approve it, then I will send it out to all the units so that they have it officially.
So the, yeah, for Huntington County, the estimated max levy is at 10.8 million. I don't understand the cap loss, but that's what they gave us. It's up 400,000 from last year. I don't understand how assessments can go up 22% and cap losses increase 25%. So,
Again, neither here nor there, but that's, I was told by the County Council Association that it's because of those SB 1 and the tax credit to residential and changes to the age and veterans credits, so.
yeah, this, I don't know. That was not what was illustrated in SB 1 when it came out. That amount wasn't anywhere near that amount, so it is what it is. So, entertain a motion that we've reviewed it.
I've looked through these and I make that motion.
Terry? Second.
I looked through them too, but I had the same questions.
I mean, until we know what we know, I mean, that's what they're giving us.
They're generated by the DLGF, so
Yeah, well,
we're kind of at their mercy.
So I would second.
I don't necessarily trust their math, but that's
Yeah.
okay. All right, I got a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I'm going to pass this along. If you could each sign above your type's name, that would be great.
Okay. All right, there's no other new or old business. We will go ahead and adjourn the business side of the meeting and move on to the budget hearings.
We are a little bit ahead of schedule, just so you know, so we may have to.
Our people,
That's a good thing.
We tell everybody 10 minutes ahead.
Arrive 15 minutes early, just in case.
well, we have our auditor here.
Yeah, you do. I'll do the best I can, but I'll get through what I know.
We
Well,
know
that
where
won't
she
take very
is.
long.
Okay, get that out so I can, find that differences from, they're out there, so go to, I'll send you the website, you can see the trend. Okay. Of all that. It's basically.
This is in here, losses here.
So this is cap loss.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So $1.6 million, that was about $1.2 million last year.
Oh,
This is literally 4% higher than what this year's was. So there's a math exercise. So you take the developmental disability, so whatever we give Pathfinders and whatever we give Bowen Center, those come out, and then you take it times 4%. And then
Bowen Center,
it's a weird,
290
it's weird math, but it's basically 4% to keep it simple.
Bowen Center, 290 this year. We're up to 290, so I was saying. Oh. That's what I seen on the DLG website.
So are we ready to go to solid waste? Christie's here. If she's here, let's keep her rolling.
she was early.
Hi, I'm here to present for Solid Waste District. We just put a 3% in, that's in the incentive line. It looks like there's extra for the part-time laborer, because we have a full-time laborer this year that's being paid out of the one line item, and I split it for next year because we hired a part-timer. So that's the 46 and the 26,000, just because of the double the hours. So I highlighted those. Let's see.
What was it, 2025?
So 25 is the part-time, because we had 2 part-timers for the 52,000. So that's where our full-time person is being paid out of this year. And then we just hired a part-time person, so like half a year of part-time salary. So that's why I split it. And the part-timer makes $25 an hour, the full-time makes $22 an hour. The 46,000 is a little higher than what that person makes, but they've been getting overtime, so I take all of that out of that line. So I didn't want to short that, but there's probably going to be money rolled back, or it may have to go into insurance. The insurance line, both full-time, the director and the full-time laborer are getting insurance, and so I'm not sure how to budget, or if I budgeted enough for that this year. Just basing it on next year's number, or this year's number is for next year's number. Anything else in the ones that you have questions on?
So you actually reduce the processing and hauling, you thinking that's paying off from having the part-time person there? Is that the idea there?
The which one?
The process,
On
REC
325,
process and
325?
haul? Yeah, 325 line, it went down 9,500.
Okay, that's because, that's the, okay, so yeah, moving on to threes.
She was asking about the ones.
That
Oh.
is,
We jumped
yeah,
ahead.
that was ones. Twos is staying the same. Threes, that's recycling, that's what we paid GFL. That's their contract. It went down because last year, we didn't know if we were getting rid of them and doing it in-house, and then we've changed and we're continuing. So this year, there'll be extra money in that line item to give back, and so then 147 is based on right now, what we pay and with a 3% increase. That's the 147,000 for the year for next year. The trash fees, we share Lime City dumpster every other time. It's either 2 a month or 1 a month depending, and we share that with the highway. So that is, I believe, 390 if I divide that by 12, or by 6, because we're paying half a year. So 390 every other bill goes to the highway and then to us. And then the hazardous waste program, that's at the bottom, the 393. We're already in the hole like 8,000, so I need to come back closer to like October timeframe, November timeframe for a transfer. So I increased that 5,000.
That just means
For
more people are using it, or is that?
That's
just-
the hazard waste that we have to give tires, we give electronics to the other companies, paint, and so we've been giving more, like, yeah, more people are dropping off, so there's more stuff to give.
Yeah,
Right.
that's what I was wondering. I mean,
So-
if that's what it is, then
Yeah.
the fee's staying about the same?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's more of a
And they
volume?
it's more volume,
Okay.
yes.
So we're getting rid of more of the bad
Right,
stuff, so
exactly,
that's a
it's
good
not
thing.
ending up
Yeah.
in the ditch or
In the
anything,
river or
so
something,
that's
yeah.
good, right,
That's good.
That's a
yeah.
good thing, okay.
Okay.
so
guess that's a
and
good-
everything else stayed the same on the bottom. If we have to reduce anything, we'll take out of the equipment line, but I keep that there in case something happens with the truck or they need to save for another vehicle with the 2 full-time people now, so.
So actually, your overall budget is down.
No.
No, it's up 7%, but it's up 33,000 from 457 to 490 on the bottom line, yeah.
Under the general line. I was looking up above that.
Oh, yes, no.
How much do you guys, I should know this, but I don't. How much do you guys get from property taxes to fund this, and how much is from fees and other stuff?
It looks like the tax levy is 293, so around 293 or 300,000 is the levy.
Okay.
Circuit breaker they're upping it to 46,000, it was 35,000 this year. I agree with you on the estimates on circuit breaker, they estimate so high that it's like, I don't think it ever goes that high.
Yeah.
But, I don't know, you kind of have to plan just in case, but, yeah. So, like our cash balance right now, we have a meeting this morning, is like 460,000, and that is with the June settlement in there. So if we keep around, it's usually between 350 and 450 is our cash balance throughout the year.
So roughly, not even quite a year's worth?
Yes.
Okay.
And there are some line items that we do not spend, depending on what's happening and what kind of programs we can do. I know today Rob asked if we could work on education and promotion and use some of those line items. I know that Scott does some education at Roanoke schools when he can get in, and I usually take those out of supplies because it's like, he shows composting through like Oreo cookies and like food, and shows the kids how to compost or what composting would be. So I just take those small Kroger bill out of supplies, not education, so we haven't really used education in a while as far as a big amount. We may do some kind of flyer or a mailer or something to educate the public, but I think things are going well.
Is it working well having the person at
At
the
West
site?
Park, for sure,
I would
yes.
think just in general, having them there to guide people and help them understand what is and what isn't.
Correct. It is definitely helpful. It seems like the contamination is way down as well. No plastic bags in the containers is helping. And we're waiting to get solid numbers from GFL to see if they feel like there's a big change in the last 2 months. And so, yeah, I think
Good.
it's helping.
Okay.
All right?
Great. All right. Well, thank you.
Anything else? Thank you.
You're up.
Good evening. You can see from my budget, not a lot has changed in my request for this year, this coming year, 2026. I did budget for a 3% incentive for my employees and myself. Longevity went up $400 because I have 4 employees that will get an extra $100 in 2026. We do have a new postage meter that the county entered into a contract on, which is slightly higher. And the dues that increased, $76 basically is based on my pay, for what I pay into the Auditors Association. So very limited changes. I do continue to budget for conferences and travel. My term ends next December, so I'm trying to educate my staff as much as I can. I only take them with me though when I feel like there's a conference that's applicable to our department. And then I do also use the 1217 fund, which is following the general fund request for auditor expenses, and that can also be used as conference or conference-related expenses, training, for like the AIC or anything that's not a state called meeting that benefits the county from my attendance. So I kept that the same as the current year, and you can see that as of June 30th, I had spent almost half of that this year. So, any questions?
Chief Deputy,
I continue to budget for it, and I usually give it back at the end of the year. I do have 2 newer staff members that continue to learn, but at this point in time, I don't feel like they're quite to the level that would warrant that position pay.
So you're working on it.
They work hard.
I
They
say
work
you're
very
working,
hard.
you're working on it though, right?
It's just really, there's constantly changes, and it's very difficult to, our office is kind of segmented. So you've got your payroll that, is different than your accounts payable or receivable. We have to have some segregation of duties in our office, according to State Board of Accounts, internal controls. Then out front, we have the girls that run the taxing software and the exemptions, deductions. That's constantly changing as well. While I have backup and cross-training within each side of the department, no one is fully trained for both sides of it. So, as we get to the point next year when someone's running for auditor, I hope to be able to spend some time with them as well to kind of educate them on the things that are auditor specific, not necessarily falling within those individual responsibilities.
so I got your budget up 3%, which is largely due to the incentives in that.
Correct.
Yeah, I guess where I was going with the question was the incentives versus the chief deputy. If you do use the chief deputy, would you not need as much on the incentives?
No, the chief deputy pay is based off of my income. It's 85% of mine. And so we figure the 3% for each person's pay in the department. So you would still need that incentive amount. That's the cost of living for the other employees as well.
Is your question is the 3% of the chief deputy is
Yeah.
an incentive?
Yeah.
It is in the incentive. It would be in addition to this.
Probably not a lot.
So if the 3% is offered, we split that 5,700, no, I'm sorry, 9465
Okay.
into each position's
Okay.
pay.
Okay.
Sorry, it took me a while to get around the barn a little there. Any other questions?
Okay, on to the treasurer. She's not here. It's only 4 minutes, what's going on here?
Skip and come back to it.
Let's skip it. Vicki, birthday girl.
Yeah.
Hey.
Saw that.
Okay, all together. Happy birthday.
Not necessary. Good evening, gentlemen. I am here tonight to ask for, out of my Fund 1154 Enhanced Access Fund, the appropriation of $42,500. I am in $27,500 of that is for service contracts, which I am increasing from 2025 because I'm leasing equipment now that I didn't have before. And line 45,300 is software, and it will be, I'm asking for $15,000, and I am going to be getting some new software in 2026. Our software vendor has given us a heads up. My Fund 1160, Identification Security Protection Fund, I am not asking to appropriate any money for 2026 for that fund.
Slow down, hang on. We're jumping around too fast to
Okay,
see.
I'm sorry.
Those numbers don't mean anything. You gotta give us a second.
I don't see the 1160.
I don't see 1160.
She didn't request any.
Then it's
with
not-
it.
okay.
So
Not in there.
There is that one page that has nothing on it, but,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
we didn't make the paper.
And then,
Okay.
okay, then 1189.
1189, that is my Recorder's Record Perpetuation Fund, and I am requesting my salary, my chief deputy's salary, my deputy's salary, my incentive, the longevity, the overtime, social security, retirement, insurance, workers' comp, and unemployment for my deputy only. And line 50002, I'm requesting $150,000 to run my office because I want to continue restoring my books from the 1800s. So my total budget request out of my perpetuation account would be $318,578.
How's that perpetuation fund holding it? Is it holding its own?
Yes, as of today, the balance in it is $237,721.34, and an average of $9,000 per month goes in that account.
That's 3.9% increase, so still not bad.
And it's not coming out of general, it's all out of perpetuation. Which is good.
About 9,000 a month, you said?
Still nothing out of general. Congratulations.
Yeah.
And then I have one more fund, my 1217.
Yep.
County Elected Official Training Fund, I'm requesting $2,500, which is a $500 raise because of the cost of conference registrations and hotel costs.
So you guys will see, especially for your benefit, Jamie, the 1217 is a repeat of everybody's. We've got it in there so you don't have to keep flipping back and forth, but it's got every elected official's expense on it.
It was on the last one.
Yep.
Yeah. So it'll look just like
They
that,
all
but
pull
it's,
from that.
We
but
just put one in each section, so we don't
can
have
see
to
it.
look back and find it.
Do you have any questions for me, gentlemen?
I don't. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good.
Enjoy the rest of your birthday.
Yeah.
Thanks, Vicki.
What a way to spend it, right?
Yeah. All right.
Happy birthday, Vicki.
Thank you.
Jerry, come on up.
Morning, gentlemen. Or I guess it's afternoon or evening.
Keep going, you'll get there.
Keep going.
I'll get there eventually. So I'm here to present the budget. I've had a few changes. Basically, I moved some money around. Our GPS for shooting our tile and bringing in locations is 2011 technology, and I'd like to try to bring that up to date a little bit. So I've moved some numbers around. Since I became county surveyor in 2023, there were 4 employees in the office. I've done it with 3. This would be the 3rd year. In 23, when I hired a technical operations, she was extremely computer savvy, so we had brought in Beacon to do some in-house training at that time. She picked up on things very well, so I ended up moving her into the deputy's position. So the technical operations is actually empty right now, or vacant, I guess I should say. And our business operations coordinator, I'm hoping whenever she gets up to speed, moving her up to that technical operations and end up completely eliminating. But I still put it on the budget line item just in case. So far, like I said, I'm in my 3rd year. I've been pretty much doing all the field work myself. So that's as far as salaries. And then longevity, like I said, my technical operations, she will be here for her 3rd year. So that was the $300 add-on there. Back when, in 22, when we did this, we bumped the fuel up to $4,000 because of the prices at that time was getting kind of goofy. So we put in extra just in case. Cut that in half down to $2,000. And then the educational programs, we've been taking advantage of a lot of free stuff that we can get from Beacon, calling them. So we've been taking advantage of that. So took that down to 2,500. And then the service contracts, last year I didn't realize statutorily, the county surveyor's position, if it's a licensed person, that should be 50% of their pay. I didn't realize that last year, and I did not put that in, so that's why you see such a big jump on that number, because that was the 4% from last year plus the 3% this year, if it comes to fruition for this year. So that's where that number changed. And then the equipment, I bumped up to 5,000, and as you'll see here in a minute, when I get to the drainage board, I got 5,000 in equipment on the surveyor side, and then 8,000 in the drainage board side for a new GPS, is what that entails. And then the 5,000, the typical for a new vehicle, and I am getting probably pretty close to that. There's a lot of nickel and dime things going on with the truck. Haven't looked at it fully yet, tried to find a cost on one, but so basically the net on that is 5,207 from last year to this year, and basically 5,000 of that is the vehicle, so it went up $207 from the surveyor's side on budget. Drainage board side, the board members I put in for a raise for them. They get paid $65 a meeting. I've been here for 16 years. Never had a raise since I've been here. I put it in for them, so that is a increase of $2,400.
What would you increase it from?
From $65 to $85 a meeting.
Okay.
I have 3 drainage board members that do a lot of going to sites when people call them to go investigate things. It's more than warranted. So in the educational, on this one as well, I took that 5,000 down to 0 and moved it down to the equipment. The internet, we no longer have. We used to have a puck, like when I go out with my GPS, that's how the internet service was that. I can now utilize that through my county phone. That will stay at 0. That one won't come back. And then the $300 on service contracts and the $300 on rebinding. All that money I moved down to the equipment. So the only thing that changed on the drainage board side is the $2,400 as far as their meeting pay.
Is there any comparisons you can get to what like other counties do, just to make sure we're kind of in line?
I can.
I mean, maybe 85 is not enough.
And, you know, like I said, I've been here for 16 years and they've been making $65.
I just want to make sure that we're, you know, in line either way.
Okay.
Kendall, I'm not sure if it's in that fact book, but I put a fact book there
Yep.
as well.
Yeah, I can take a peek at it, see if it's in there. Just
Okay. But I can check around as well.
okay.
What's the special members?
I'm sorry?
Special members?
Special members are if we have a joint board with another county, and usually on a joint board, you have 2 members of yours and then 2 from another county, and then a 5th that's not associated with either county.
Oh, okay.
So,
Thank you.
yep,
All right. Any other questions?
I still got more.
Oh, you do? Yeah, you got the corner one.
Yeah.
Forgot.
Yeah. So then we have section corner, which obviously you guys all know I'm not licensed, so TE Incorporated does most of my section corner work, in which so far this year it's been $35,950 has been spent on that. Appropriate of $100,000, and I believe there's like 125 or 130,000 in that, and basically that gets funded the same way Vicky's does. There's a percentage of every document that gets recorded also, and I think it's $3 a document goes into the section corner perpetuation fund.
So this is essentially a user fee.
This is
fund.
self-funded by itself.
Yeah.
You guys don't do anything with this.
Do you know about how much a month or a year that goes into that?
Roughly about the same thing that Vicky's does.
8,000 or 9,000 a month?
Roughly 9,000 a month.
Okay.
Probably a little less because I think they get $5 a document, and I believe surveyors gets $3 a document. So it's probably a little less than that. And then the 1217 training fund, same thing, $1,500. I'm required to do 15 hours of continuing education each year, and I usually get that either through ISPLS, which is the Indiana Society of Professional Land Surveyors, or any of the drainage classes. I think that's it. Any questions?
Yep, that's it. All right. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Jerry. Corner. Oh, there's Phil.
Bill?
Good evening, how's everybody today?
Hi, Phil.
Pleasure to see y'all. Hey, this year for my budget, I'm looking at really 3 different areas where I've had an increase. One being the incentive line item for the deputies and myself. The second, I added $200 for fuel costs. And then the last is vehicle replacement for a $3,000 addition on the bottom line there. Outside of that, everything else stayed the same.
Quit making things so easy.
Try to keep it simple.
Pretty simple.
How have you trended on the contract professionals? Because I know we were doing a little bit better. I mean, we're only at 25 year to date.
Right, so
I mean,
I'll probably go through another 10 to 12, I think, before the end of the year.
So-
This week's been kind of a busy week for us, unfortunately, so,
yeah.
That's like your autopsies.
yes, yeah,
You don't know when it's coming till it comes.
that's right.
You just pay the
And
bill.
if you recall, maybe not, but several years ago, it was budgeted at 50,000, and we keep coming back during the year
Yeah,
for
no,
that, so we
I
bumped
just
her up
wonder
to
if
the
we, if
75.
we're trending a little better, maybe we can bring that down, maybe back to that 60-ish or something.
We can look at that here at the end of the
Maybe take a
year and
look
see
at
where
it.
it's at, and maybe in 27, we can bring it
Yeah.
back a little bit if necessary. I know, I'm not sure what my return was last year on that, but it was probably a fair amount.
I'm not sure, I did send out an email today though, but if you could let us know as.
Yeah, if you
far
think
as
you're
the-
trending well this year,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And honestly, last year, that was one I didn't even, I kept where it was at, not knowing how things were, but,
I know
yeah,
it's still early, but
Yeah.
as soon as we can get some numbers, that helps.
yeah.
Yep.
And I got that, I'll get that to you then.
okay, great.
Any questions?
Thanks, Bill.
Appreciate what you
Thank
did.
See you, Phil.
Thank you. Take care.
Thanks.
Who's up?
All right, we're gonna skip Jeremy. Come on up. We're gonna just keep moving.
Good evening.
Howdy, Jeremy.
As far as the county general budget, the only things I really changed is I took 200 off of office supplies and moved it over to law books. But otherwise, everything is pretty flat from last year. Just have those small increases from salaries.
And that's at the 3%, right?
Yeah, whatever the increase was last
Yeah.
year. Yep.
Yeah, it is pretty flat.
Yep.
Change much. Yeah,
Nope, not this year.
it's pretty simple.
Any questions on the county general? I usually provide you all with just an update on where my discretionary funds are and what we've spent those discretionary funds on this year.
Thanks, Jeremy.
Sir?
Thank you, my friend.
So the discretionary funds have been pretty steady the last several years. Infraction deferral is down a little bit this year. But we just kind of move where we pay some of those major expenses from, and this year just happened to be out of infraction deferral, which has brought it down a little bit.
Need more people writing infractions.
What's that?
Need more people writing infractions.
Need more officers writing tickets, yeah.
Hey, 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 hey. Okay. Any
Otherwise,
questions on this?
I think all the
It's
line
good
items-
information.
Yep, I think all the line items on the discretionary funds are the same from last year.
Are they?
Yep.
Okay.
Everything going okay over there?
Yeah.
Good, good.
It's going well.
Good.
Every day's a holiday, right?
Any
All
other
right.
questions then?
Hey, we'd know if anything was real bad over there,
Yeah.
That's true.
wouldn't we?
Yes, I think you will.
So I guess anything for this year that you see, like if you had any unfilled positions or anything like that, that we could maybe return back to county general this year would certainly help from the budgeting standpoint of next year. And you don't have to answer me right now, that's just something that,
No, we do budget for a fifth prosecutor. There's 4 full-time now. We have in the budget for 5.
okay.
I'm not gonna fill that fifth one this year. I don't have
Okay,
any plans to
so
fill
that's
it
an
anytime
easy,
soon.
that's an easy one for this year anyway then?
Yep, and we
Okay.
also very much limit overtime. So just looking at those 2 items, that's 110,000.
Okay, great, great.
Yeah.
Good.
I know Jill sent out an email, but
Yep.
those are something that definitely will help because going into next year it's even more fuzzy than it's ever been with Senate Bill 1. So.
Yeah, we won't know a lot until really,
No, no.
we're in the blind a lot. So we're
Yeah.
trying to-
They haven't even put out the lit numbers yet
Nope.
for next year. We don't even know what that is, so.
No, I get that.
Yeah, so whatever you
Oh,
can help,
yeah.
that would be
That
certainly
helps, though.
appreciated.
That fifth
Yeah.
position, you're not gonna need
Yep,
this year.
absolutely. Okay,
Good.
thanks, Jeremy.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chairman.
Still nobody from the assessor? Who was late? Treasurer and assessor. They're still not here though, are they? Okay. Come on up. Must be present to win, apparently. Nobody else is here, so.
Okay. So we're Purdue Extension Office. I'm Ed Ferris, County Extension Director. And we do have, I did submit a letter along with the budget to give you a little more information about the changes there. It's basically staying the same, with the exception of the line items for the professional contract for the services provided by educators for Purdue Extension. And then we're staying at the same staffing for county paid employees. We have, that's calculated based on Jill's, requirements there. So there is something I wanted to point out. Since I originally submitted the budget in June, I looked at the supplies, office supplies line there, and we could go ahead and reduce that by another $500 to $4,200. We gained a lot of efficiencies. I guess 2023, whenever we shifted to using basically through Yoakum, shifted to a copier printer that really helped us reduce that office expense line item. So otherwise things are staying the same. If you have questions on anything, please let me know. So.
Looks good to me.
Yep.
Did you wear that shirt on purpose, though?
It was the first one I saw today, Ken.
Yeah, I'm sure it was.
Puts it on top every day.
That's right.
Thanks for coming in.
Okay, thank you guys.
Thanks, Ed.
All right, it says break. You guys want to take a break for 5 minutes or so?
At least the bathroom.
At least the bathroom.
You want to take a quick one? Yeah, that's fine. We can take a quick break.
It's already slipped. Hi, Jill.
Hello, I apologize for being late. The first one, the county general, it's pretty much stayed the same, other than I did increase the postage. We still send out our Form 11s in-house, so with the postage going up, I just increased it for that. We got a new postage meter that increased slightly. But other than that, I think everything stayed the same, other than longevity and
So the auditor, the treasurer, and the assessors share that postage meter, so you'll hear all three of us reference that
Yeah.
change, so.
Sales disclosure, nothing changed? went up a
I
little bit.
increased the postage in that one too, because again, I use that kind of as we send out verification letters for sales disclosures, so just in case we need more in that line item, but everything stayed the same other than postage. And the reassessment, everything stayed the same. Oh, well, I moved some money around. I did make a new line item for legal/appraisal services. Because that's the way everything's going nowadays, is you either have to have an appraisal or you have to have an attorney fight something if it goes on to the state.
Took it out of
But I didn't increase it, I just moved money around to make a line item.
So then the new software was the reason it went up last year, right, or the year before?
Correct.
Is that, when does that run out? When do we?
It's a 5-year payment.
So we're in this will be year 3 and 25 or year 4?
This will be year 2.
25 is year 2, right?
Yes.
26 would be.
Oh, yes, so the budget
26 will
would
be
be year 3, yes.
Okay, that's,
Yeah,
okay.
sorry.
So just a couple more years on that then? Okay.
Yes.
That's good to
But
know.
it'll have a new, so we'll go into a new cyclical cycle, so we'll have a whole new contract and everything like that. So it'll change dramatically, not dramatically, hopefully, but
Somewhat.
it'll change somewhat, yeah.
Okay. All right, anybody have any questions? All right, thank you.
Questions? All right, thank you.
Is Tim here?
There
There he is.
Oh,
On
it's
time.
Tim here.
is.
Yeah, we're way ahead.
Walk right on up here, Tim, you're up.
Just in time. Good job.
Good evening.
Tim?
How are you? So last year's budget and this year's budget, the only difference is $100 for the bonus, so the longevity. So nothing's changed on any of the line items.
You guys have an incentive loan in there as well.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep, yep.
Yeah, Lisa is not a full-time, so she doesn't get the longevity part.
Yep. Okay. Real quick on the general route to veterans recognition, looks like 2,000 there.
Yeah, we just keep the 2,000 in case we need money for the parade or for Memorial Day, or advertising or something like that, or porta johns. Sometimes we pitch in for the porta johns.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Pretty easy peasy.
Very easy.
Thanks for coming in, Tim.
Thanks,
yeah,
Tim.
no problem.
Sorry we kept you so long. Good, you walked in the door, good deal. Thanks, Tim.
Soil and water.
Yeah, and that's, shut that door.
Yes. All right.
All right, good evening, I'm Adam Couch, representing Soil and Water. We do have a small increase this year. Basically, what it amounts to is we needed to catch up Cheryl Jarrett's pay that we pay. So the county pays basically 30 hours, the district pays for 10 hours, and we've been way behind on that. We just kind of realized that. So by upping the pay that we give, that also ups what the match is or the retirement and stuff like that. So I am not really good at this, but we went around everything, so that is what the increase is for this year. So, but yeah, there was some miscommunication for a lot of years over that, and her pay needed to be brought up on our end. So.
We came through job class,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
upped it because we skipped it for so many years.
Okay.
Okay, so that's represented in this number. Okay.
So, yeah.
That it?
That's
All right,
it.
perfect. Thanks so
Thank
much.
you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for your time.
Hunter?
Hi, Rob.
Rob?
Hey, good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing?
Good.
Moving right along?
We're moving.
Okay, general, if that's okay with you guys, we'll start there.
Yep.
Let's just go down to like, everything down to social security, unless you want me to talk about some significant changes. So, talking to Stephanie and, social security and retirement, we've been short in that, so, that's why those two, line items reflect, increase on those two.
So if those two are gonna be short this year, we probably need to figure out what that number is.
I think Stephanie, closer to the end of the year.
Well, it's an 18-month budget, so we
Okay.
probably need to understand that now.
I have that factored in, and I have 40,000 that's gonna transfer out of work comp to help cover, it's gonna get us close.
So
to
it'll
her.
be internal transfers, no additionals?
Hopefully, yes.
Okay.
To cover all
All
of
right,
it, at
then I'm
least
not worried
40.
about that then.
Okay.
As long as it's in there.
Okay.
On the group insurance, looking back at the 2024 budget, it was 2.1. 2024 expend was 1.8. To date, in 2025, we've spent a little bit shy of 1 million, but we budgeted 2.571.
2.2 and 2.5.
Yeah, so Steph and I just talked about that this evening. We'd probably be safe to budget at 2.3, and that's based on a 10% increase. I will say that we're going to get with Michelle Bunker, our group benefits coordinator, and we won't really know where we're going to land until after the third quarter as far as the group insurance. So we're just doing a best guesstimate on the group insurance because we don't know what it's going to look like in real time, so.
Even if we could look for this year too, if we can get a good estimate
Yeah.
before October.
Yeah, I think we can do something. We talked to
Because if we think
Michelle.
it's 2 million, I mean, that's $250,000 that
Right.
we could help towards the fund if we think it's gonna be 2.
Right, and another conversation we're going to have is, on the healthcare side, is deductibles and employee contributions. We feel like we have to take a pretty hard look at that. He's going to be part of that discussion. So we'll have that discussion when we get the hard numbers from Michelle here.
Yep.
Before we drill down into that thing. Next item is legal services. Back in 2024, we expended for non-contract professional $74,899, and then for contract professionals, we spent $47,901. Our total budget for contract professionals in 2025 is $125,203. To date, we've expended $81,000. So I know that number looks massive, that 250, but we have been some considerable expense on putting a moratorium together, the solar ordinance, and we're probably going to be looking at revamping the wind ordinance. So we feel like that number's probably not too far off as far as what we're going to spend on legal services, looking at what we're going to be dealing with moving forward here. So Moving on down to the next page, like Youth Services Bureau advertising. Let's just go to building liability and
Yeah.
building liability.
Yeah, the rest of
insurance.
them are kind of nickel dime things.
So we have locked in our premium with Cincinnati Insurance on the property insurance for 3 years, which is a benefit. But we're asking for a 10% increase because of the auto and liability. That's a bit of a moving target there, so that's why we're asking for that additional increase there. Stephanie, as she said earlier, was able to find some money, about $40,000 on the work comp, reducing it from 85 to 46,000, something like that.
For next year, that's not online.
Yeah.
I just found it today, actually.
Okay, so you think that can be 46K instead of
Yeah.
85?
So 40,000 I need for perf this year is I'm gonna pull from that line item.
Yep.
But there was, last year I budgeted to cover the work comp in full, and the highway reimburses for their portion of it, so I'm able to offset that. The way I was doing it was incorrect, Jill didn't like it, and we have corrected that, so I only need to budget, what do I have down there, 40, if you give me 46, I think we'll be fine.
For 26?
Yes.
Work comp line.
Work comp. Yeah, line 34,300. Okay.
So the other thing, I just wanted to bring to everybody's attention, the Bowen Center, that is a mandated amount by the state, that 288,723.
I've seen 290, yeah.
Okay. Karen State institutions, that amount ebbs and flows over the years. Year to date, we've expended only 17.6 on that. I think that's a spot where we could reduce that to, let's say, 50,000 with the bottom line that we're still obligated to take care of that if it arises. So if we would exceed that 50, if say we budgeted for 50 for 26 and we exceeded that, we would actually be coming back for an additional to cover that Karen State institution, because that's an obligation that we're mandated.
I don't remember what that is. What is that?
That's for like housing adolescents that we can't house in the jail.
Oh, okay.
White's Institute.
Which we don't
mental
do
facilities
very often
outside the
anymore.
county.
Yeah, we don't do that very often anymore, yeah.
So do you think we could do 50K also in 25, because you're only at 18 year to date?
Yeah,
That-
Yeah,
that
I-
gives-
Have
somebody come back. That gives us another 50 to work
Right.
with.
I think
That's
that'd
100
be-
total.
Here again, we just got to keep in mind that we're obligated irregardless, but
Sure.
we can pare our budget back and then.
Well, less and less we're sending
It-
juveniles to lockup.
That's
We
true.
really are.
That's
We
true.
are.
I'd rather cut in places where we think we can, based on history.
Well, they're just doing different things.
Cutting other things that actually would hurt. And again, we understand if it happens, it happens.
Okay, so any other questions on the general?
And then, the solid waste, the landfill's kind of another crapshoot. I know we have 100 in for this year, but you've only spent 21 year to date. Is that an opportunity, at least for this year, maybe to get aggressive? We leave 100 in next year, but maybe we get aggressive, or
I
the
think
things happening this year. that-
items, we probably, we're getting ready to cap the landfill with some soils that we're going to get from a drainage project fairly close. One of the issues has been the ponding of water on the cap and that plume potentially moving because the water's into the landfill there. So we're basically obligated to do what we can. I think we're probably going to spend some of that 100,000 this year. We've got some monitoring wells that we have to repair.
Okay. So you think what's coming on, you think?
I
probably
really
a tough
think
one to go
that,
after.
we were safe a few years ago, but, I mean, honestly, there's a project that they wanted us to do that we've kind of asked them if we could go another route. It was going to be like 1.5 million to pump the water off of the cap in the landfill into a holding tank and then take it for distribution through a water treatment plant. So we've actually kind of pivoted there, asked them if we could do a system that you plant trees on top of the landfill. They pull the water out of the landfill, so it keeps it from migrating, you know, and pushing that tree from that landfill outside of the boundaries. So I think that we're probably going to have to keep that number in there for next year. We might not spend, we're going to spend some of that this year. but-
You'll know by October, though.
Yeah, we will.
Okay.
For sure.
So that might be an opportunity in this year's budget maybe to.
Yep.
Okay. I don't think I didn't see anything else.
See anything else? The vehicle replacement, I mean, we could opt not to put the $3,000 in there.
Yeah, we always look at that one as
Yeah,
an
I
option,
mean,
that
that's-
we can leave it flat.
Yep, we could just leave that flat. Cume Court, so Kendall, we talked about this a little bit.
Yeah.
So the bond payment, a few years ago when we did the renovation on the HVA system in the courthouse, we floated a bond. And so our payment, commissioner's payment was $226, two payments of $113,000 twice a year. County council paid $182,742, $91,000 and some change every year. So, you know, in discussing that with you, Kendall, with our payment of $226, that still leaves us $250 in Cume Court. But if we, say we figured out that we could handle that bond payment to help out council, that only leaves us $68,000 in Cume Court, which I think would make it pretty tough. I'm not saying we can't do it, but I would say that would be a last resort for us to make that bond payment for you. I know $182,000 is a
Big
big
number.
chunk of change.
I think you'd be surprised when you see how the assessed AV comes out. 'Cause
Okay.
I looked at the cash flow and I think you guys could absorb it pretty easily, but we've talked.
That'd be fine, and I talked to Tom and Terry about it. We're fine with taking over that payment, and
Yeah, even if it's just for next year, just the way
Right.
the AV works.
Right.
and-
if that gets you to the number you're looking for, we're certainly willing to do that. In fact, we're willing to do that anywhere we need to do that, so, just so you guys know that. Lit, I guess I skipped over lit, so, that's a 3-year plan. That number's pretty much set in stone for the lit, the way that plan's set up. Redevelopment Commission. That budget's pretty well set on that.
It's like,
Okay, so,
increase the pool car 3,000, it looks like.
pool car, we would cut that back to, what'd you say, Seth?
We can cut that back to 1,000, that was entered on the
Oh,
wrong line.
okay.
Oh, okay.
Right.
We meant to put the 3,000 in the new vehicle line.
Right, so
But
it
it
was in
ended up
there.
in
Okay. Couldn't read her writing, so.
So that state,
Staying
you
at
think,
1,000.
just keep that at 4,500 total, 1,000 on that line and 3,000 for fuel, 500 for garage and motor supply?
Yes.
Okay.
So you said 1,000 on the vehicle?
Yes.
So like I said, we certainly want to work with council on ways we can find a way to get to that number.
Gonna need it.
I know we
Gonna
are.
need it.
Yep.
Some heavy lifting this year, so we're gonna need all hands
I
on
mean,
deck.
it's like your household, you know, you budget and you only spend what you can afford to spend. So that's what we're going to do.
Yep.
So, appreciate it.
Thanks, Rob.
Thanks, guys.
You're up.
Kendall, just a note on the general fund, DLGF told us that the Bowen Center would be $290,318, so slightly higher than the 288,753.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I see that.
Where the heck is that?
Item 38520.
290?
290,318.
Hang on. 290, 318.
So it's gonna be slightly higher than what they have. And then I didn't hear your comment on what to put in for workers' comp.
The workers' comp, just in 26, change it from the 85,198 down to 46,000.
Okay, that's what I have. Thank you.
Yep. And then you got the Karen in-state 50 and 50. Okay. All right, ready for the highway, Bridget.
All right. I gave you all an overview sheet, just kind of summing everything up. Hume Bridge, I didn't do any changes to. The biggest expense out of there is service contracts, and that is for our federal aid projects that we have going on. And we have 4 bridges under contract and the countywide bridge inventory and inspections. So the majority of that money for the service contracts comes from our portion that we pay for those projects. I left local road and street the same as well. We have 2 federal aid projects that come out of that. County Road 300 West and Division Road, and then the signs, countywide sign replacement. So I left that one as well. And then for MVH, I broke those out in this other sheet. There's not a lot that I changed, just some things here and there. Certification pay, our previous superintendent earned certification pay. I do not have the certifications fully for that yet. So that's a big $5,000 expense that we saved there. Longevity came down $3,600 just due to turnover and things like that. And then I increased signposts and guardrails and culverts and pipes. Our culverts and pipes I increased by $20,000. We have some pipe projects that the pipe is $20,000 for that one project, so the pipe is real expensive. And then I added $30,000 for center line and edge lining. This had previously been eliminated, but we have a lot of roads that need to be striped for safety reasons, so I put that back in there. And that's the majority of the big changes.
And your estimated revenues should cover all this, correct?
I would think so, yes.
Okay.
Oh, I take it back, I'm sorry. We have 3 leases that are gonna fall off at the end of this year for trucks.
Oh, okay.
And so, our lease payments are gonna come down
Good.
quite a bit there, so.
How are we on trucks? Is still doing okay?
Say that again, I'm sorry.
How are we on trucks? Are we doing okay?
We're doing okay,
Okay.
yeah.
I don't want to get into the fiasco we had before, but on the other hand, it'd be
What's
nice
that?
to.
I'm so sorry.
The fiasco we had before with trucks falling apart and everything else, but on
Right,
the other hand, let's
right.
be cognizant.
There is a new emission standard that's coming out in 2027, so we want to have the truck ordered before the end of, before we have to get
You might be
into that
lucky to get
emission
it by
thing.
then.
Say that again.
You might be lucky to get it by then, even ordering it now.
So we talked to the two manufacturers, International and Freightliner, and they both said we're okay for right now, so. But no one wants to be the guinea pig on those emissions, so.
So I see the furniture increased from 1,000 to 2,500. Do you still need that? You just did a $1,500.
You know what, we don't,
Okay.
since we had to do it this year, we
Okay.
can take that back down.
Okay, put that back to 1,000 just in case
Yes.
something comes up. Okay. Perfect.
And the one thing that I forgot to put on your summary sheet was for the fuel system. I don't anticipate needing anything for that fuel system for next year.
Okay.
It should be 100% up and running without, fault, but there is warranty. The warranty is on the parts, obviously. We would have to pay for labor, so I did put some money in for maintenance and repair on that, so.
So that 6,250, you don't think you even need that?
I'm
The
sorry.
the 6,250, you don't think you need?
I hate to not put anything in there, but the operating supplies, that would only be if we need the fuel cards that we give out to the drivers. And then I just put in 5,000 for any kind of repair that needs to be done. We probably will not need that $1,000 in equipment.
So at minimum, knock it down to 5,250?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, so patient.
Yes, that's all right, some quiet time to myself, I guess. So my budget hasn't really changed a whole lot. In certification pay, I'm looking to add $1,000 because Jess is hopefully soon fixing to take her CFM tests yet again, hoping to pass this time. And I think Greg is looking to work towards his electrical certification. However, I did find out from Connie that at some point, I think I need to take him in front of the wage committee to get approval for an additional 1,000. But he has been studying for that, and then just recently, like around budget time, found out that he wasn't certified for that extra 1,000. So, but I did go ahead and include it in here in case.
Okay.
And so then that would be the 1,000 for Jess. That would cover me, Jess, and Greg for our certifications. So increasing that by 1,000. And then under office supplies, I need the additional 800. I got a quote on receipt books, which we haven't ordered in a few years, and the cost went way up, and it's going to be close to $800 for those. So that covers the additional. And then in fuel, Greg thought I should ask for some additional, which I asked for 3,000, since he's doing more inspections and he's a full-time inspector now. I decreased stormwater services. We just hadn't been going through a lot of those funds until recently. We did go through quite a bit of those funds. So I may end up having to increase that again next year, but we'll just wait and see. Maybe we won't have quite as much going out. But so I had decreased that, and I do kind of regret doing that now, but we can worry about that later. And then Greg said that the truck needs new tires. So that's the increase of 800 there, what he thought that new tires would cost for his truck. That is it, other than the yearly $3,000 that we add to our new vehicle fund. So we've gone from 6,000 to 9,000 on that. So
Okay.
that's my budget. If you have any questions.
Unsafe building, nothing changed on that?
Nope, nothing's changing on that.
Okay. You guys good? Okay, great, thank you.
Thank you.
Hennepin County IT, Joachim Abrahamson here. Well, you know my budget, it never goes down, sadly. I wish I could say it was, but it's just gonna get worse. It's not a big change. The biggest changes are actually in software maintenance contracts. That, like office products, our financial softwares, Spillman, all that stuff. Internet goes up a little bit because I bumped up the speed at the highway and the annex because they're too slow. So that's why I added $2,000 on there. That goes from $305 to $450 a month, and which is account 35. Well, let's start from the beginning. Let's go for the first page of the 1,000 are salaries. We're getting half of that back from the city, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they pay half of our 401 salary and all that stuff. And then office supplies, I don't have any. Computer supplies stays the same. Copy paper, been doing pretty good on that. Been able to maintain the county, most of the departments for $10,000 a year. We'll go through about 2.5 skids a year. So like between 80 and 120 boxes of paper a year. Quite a bit, but telephone right there is our long distance SIP providers and all that stuff. It's
Yeah. Oh, sorry, that's the one where, with new desk phones. We've been replacing all those. Next year we have the last. That probably you get money back from that. We got most of them done in the entire city, county, sorry. City do their own, county's almost all upgraded.
So you're
to
at
phones.
6,000 this year and you got a budget of 30, and then you're only
Last
getting
year
20 next year.
last year was 30. This coming year I want to do 20. See that line 30
Yeah,
300?
but if you got 30 in there this year.
Yes. The next year I'm going to go down to 20.
Are you going to spend that 30 this year though?
Nope, I don't think so. You're going to get some of that back too, I think.
Why not just,
Because the 20,000 pays, that right there, telephone pays my long distance lines as well.
oh, okay.
It's not just for the physical phone.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's a combined, it's for the physical phones and the actual, our long distance lines. It's coming out of that, so, but we still have a few phones left, because I think the year before that it was, yeah, we've done it over the last 2 years. I don't have 23 in here, but it was lower in 23.
Education and training, go back up to that, 31,300. 20,000 2 years ago, 19,500, and you've expended $618. 31300.
I have these in the wrong, oh, I have it in the wrong order, that's why I didn't find it, sorry. Education. Yeah, that goes up and down depending on what's available with the train. It's so hard to, we don't have a set schedule to train. I try to push the guys to further education. I'm sending hopefully a guy out here next month to do some Microsoft Entra training, you know, because we're kind of moving over to the cloud slowly. But so he's going to go through some training for that. But it's hard to find good training. I said, you want training? But don't just take any training. I need to see that it's beneficial for the county. We cannot just send it left and right. So, but we have the money there, but we'll return it if we don't use it. Is that fair enough? I mean, we can cut it down, but I'd rather have it there, and by the end of the year, you're probably going to get.
well, as we get closer to October, you should have a good feel of this year, right? Even
We
if you
do.
could
I think
return
we're only
it.
going to be spending maybe out of the training, it's going to be $3,000. The rest will probably be left.
So that could be an opportunity, because again, we're in an
We can
18-month window.
we can
If we're not going to
squeeze it
spend it
down
this
a
year,
little.
let's squeeze this year's. We can leave next year's alone.
Right,
But if you know you're not going to
get
spend it
money
this
back
year.
for this year.
But I'd rather know that now.
Right, but I can say right now, the only training I have planned is for Alex next month for $3,000. So whatever left in there after that, that will not be used.
So we can,
Yeah.
so we can.
One guy, $3,000?
One guy, $3,000 just for the training, that does not include travel. And that's a 4-day travel, a 4-day course, $4,000, it's $3,000. It's ridiculous, and that's
Yeah.
cheap.
No,
That's what I'm saying, he didn't phase me on it.
That's not cheap.
Huh?
That's not cheap.
No, it's not, but they think, yeah, so,
I
yeah,
think we can cut
that will
some
go
of that
back then to,
Okay. All right, so the opportunity for this year.
Yes.
How many, because I know with COVID, a lot of people were getting laptops and desktops. How many employees do we have right now that have two computers that we're paying double software on, that we could perhaps pare that back?
well, I'm trying, if you can force them, you've got my backup.
Well, I mean,
I think it's
that's
ridiculous
crazy.
too. Why do you have to have a desktop and a laptop?
Just get a laptop with a docking station and throw a couple monitors on it.
I know that.
We also do get some reimbursed from the city, right?
Not for computers.
Not for computer services.
No, that is their stuff. They pay for, we don't care what they do with their licenses because they pay us back. If they want to have 4 licensed person, that's cool.
Yeah.
They pay us for that.
I think we need to figure out a way that we have one license per person.
And that's what I'm trying to go to, but how can I force an elected official to do that?
Well, if there's no money in the budget.
Yeah, it's real easy. If there's no money there, how can you, it's not
Well, I
forcing
still
you to
have to
say.
pay them. If I can't just cut them off, then they don't have enough. How am I going to say that you can only have that computer, that's it? They said, no, I need a laptop and I need a desktop.
Well, we'll
There's
talk-
more than one person that says that. I'm not going to name any names, but
Well, we'll talk about that.
no, there's more people.
We're gonna need help on that.
Yeah, and that's fine. I'm more than happy to
We'll
do
talk
that.
about that, just not.
Yeah.
Right, I mean, but yes, there should only be one license per person, per computer.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, we'll show you.
Because
how
it's
to-
not getting cheaper.
We'll show you how to do that.
No,
I'll let you go out and talk to these people then.
I've seen that from 2020, that's
I ain't
almost
proud of
double,
that,
the
do you?
software maintenance,
Yeah,
double.
but also remember, 2020, we had our own Exchange server online. here in the house. Then we ran into the debacle where Microsoft couldn't patch our Exchange server. We had to go to the cloud. Go to the cloud. We had to start buying it per license. Before, we had them in a bundle, we were good. Now, if I add one person, I have to add a license. I remove one, I have to take him back. Well, so far, we haven't been removing people. We've just been adding more and more. So that's the prices that goes up.
So that's an opportunity. I'd like to see what that how much
Yeah, we
that's
can
worth.
save a little bit there. Yeah, no questions about that. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Supplies the same. The cost per copies has been going up because I've been added 3 more printers for this year, actually. I'm probably gonna have to come back by the end of the year to finalize that, you know. People print a lot.
So why did vehicles go up from 10 to
Well,
25? It should be
I was gonna ask,
15.
well, I did not know that each year I was supposed to add 5.
Yeah.
I had it since 19. And I got told last year, you need to add 5 for each year. Well, if I had it since 19, I should have added 5 each year, right?
It's usually 3. I think we went to 5 because you missed a couple of years.
Right, because I did not know I had to add 5 for each year. I bought it in 19, so then 20, I should have put 5, 21, I should have put 5, 22, 5, 20, you know, that's why I was asking. It's just a question.
But we can change it.
Yeah, that's a big jump. Okay. That's the only other thing I had. Do you guys have anything?
Yeah, software went up a little bit. The maintenance software went from 625 to 670. Yeah, and that is not even finalized yet because I just got a bill that doubled from 16 to 32,000. I got some other ones that went from 250 to 500,000. But that will be next year's headache because I don't have those final numbers yet. That's how bad it is. But that's another discussion to have later down the road as well.
All right. Any other questions?
Any questions for anything of this? I mean, it's... But do remember, we also get 160,000 back in software from the city as well. Ish. I don't have the exact numbers, I'm gonna pull it up. But so there's money coming back, almost, well over 200 hours is what? Salary and that is probably well over $225,000 back from the city. So,
yeah.
Okay.
That is on the estimated revenue.
Yep.
Right.
That's where it gets a little muddy for you guys that Jill and I see is, it's like I'm looking at what the expense is, but I'm also offsetting.
And then the town of Marcos has around 40.
Because you can't just
except
reduce the budget.
Roanoke
You gotta
has
show it.
3,000, I think. The other 3 towns also gives them about 4,500 back each year as well.
Yeah.
Not much, but I mean, it's money though. So that the county prepay for and then we bill them in November.
Yep.
Okay. Any
Awesome.
questions?
Good.
Thank you.
Thanks. Okay, ready for Superior Court.
Well, we've seen you before.
You have. Hello again.
Oh, this is Jenny.
This is. Okay. Yeah, my name's really on the schedule this time. So I will just go through. I don't have a lot of changes that I'm asking in my budget. I am requesting just another increase for our public defender contracts. I just put 3% in. That's kind of what I've been doing. So you'll see that's where that number increases from. The interpreter, as you know, I was here last month asking for more money for interpreters. So I've had to come each year and ask that it be transferred. So I am upping my request to $20,000 this year from $10,000. Our interpreter cases have just increased, and it's not just Spanish. We're now doing languages that
Burmese, a lot of Burmese around in
we
this
do a
area.
lot of Burmese,
Yep.
and we usually can get someone in person for Burmese and Spanish, but we also have like Jew, we've had Russian, we've had Italian, and we have to go get interpreters from far away. Now, I will have them appear by Zoom, but they're still not cheap. And I have a hearing this week where I have a deaf interpreter. The person does not speak English or Spanish or English or Spanish sign language. He uses both. So I've got to have 2 interpreters here. So unfortunately, I can't control those costs. And the state is making us, the entire state, the Supreme Court is having to pay now for a language line, which was a free service that we could use for small hearings, initial hearings, and we're having to pay for that now. It's minimal what we have to pay really, but since I've been here since 2005, we've never had to pay for it before. The Supreme Court's always paid for it. But like everything else, they're not doing that anymore. So that's why I requested that. Now we apply for a grant each year. We did get it this year, but it's a reimbursement grant. I think it was like $3,500 is what we got for this year, and we will apply for that every year. That is split between both courts, the interpreter grant is. So then on the next page, I am asking it for an increase in subscriptions and dues just because those costs have gone up. And then I did put a line item in here for furniture. And what that's for is the jury room. I cannot get 12 chairs around the jury table. And when I have a jury trial, most of my jury trials anymore are 12-person, and I usually have an alternate or 2. So I have 13 to 14 people in my jury room. If you've ever been in my jury room, it itself is really tight, and I cannot get 12 chairs around there. So we are using metal folding chairs. So I have jurors who are sitting on there for hours and aren't very happy when they're here for a 3-day trial and half their time is spent in there. So that's why I'm requesting to get chairs for that.
You better fix that.
Yeah. It's the chairs in there. We have like 6 chairs that are really nice, and I think they're leather. They've been there forever, but they just with the arms, and they're big, and they just don't slide under the table. So, and we don't even have enough, even if they did. So those are, and that's in my regular budget. Does anybody have any questions about that? Anything? Okay, then the next 2 funds are what the courts share, and that is the Supplemental Public Defender Fund. We're just requesting the same amount of money be appropriated in that fund, and also then in the 2507, the Jury Pay Fund, we're requesting the same amount of money be appropriated in that fund. Any questions on any of that? On anything?
No. Thanks, Judge.
Thank
Okay.
you.
All right, thank you.
Judge Davin.
Judge?
Good evening. So I'm going to start the same. My main increase is a request for interpreters. This year's budget was $7,500. We've already spent about $3,600. Same thing that Judge Newton said. Those cases continue to go up, and they continue to. I have 1 or 2 Mandarin cases that I've had in the last few months, and we have to pay an exorbitant amount to bring those people in, and they aren't any good, even though we're certified by the state. Last week, and then again this week, I had a Chu interpreter that we had to bring in. It's language in Guatemala. It's similar to Spanish, but we had the Spanish interpreter from Superior Court this morning, and they could communicate some, but not at a level that was appropriate for a legal proceeding. So, and again, like Judge Newton said, they're charging us now for language line, and it's always been free. So that's $2,500 more than last year. My public defender contracts, I have 3 different contracts, one for adult criminals, one for juvenile, and one for CHINs, which is the DCS cases. I'm requesting an extra 2,000 for our public defenders on each of those lines. Transcripts, I'm requesting an extra 5,000 this year. And the numbers that I'm looking at of spent are through almost the end of June, so I didn't print up an updated, but we budgeted 25,000 this year. June 20th, we were already at 15 and a half, so I may have to ask for more at the end of the year. Again, when we go, we don't control how many trials we have, and when they go to trial, then they almost all appeal, and then we have a transcript cost. So, and then JDAI coordination, I think the line is 11111. I don't know what you're looking at, but it's the top line on my sheet. If you look at last year, it shows 8,200 was what we requested. If you look down, I think we did it slightly wrong last year. At least that's what they told us when we were trying to submit budgets this year. We have a Social Security line of 628 and a retirement line of 1166. So apparently, I think last year those total 10,000, it should have all been on one line, is what they told us this year when we were submitting. So my apologies, but so from 10 last year, and we're asking for 25,000 this year. I got a sheet for all of you. I passed this out last year and told you that this was coming. I added some colors so it can make a little more sense, and I can try and interpret it for you. So I gave this to you gentlemen last year without the colors.
So traditionally, usually we don't absorb grants once the grants are gone. So I guess I'm struggling with what makes this one different than other grants.
Well, it's like any other government scam. They give you money at first, so you'll do their program, and then once you do it, they start slowly taking the money away. We all kind of know how that works. The thing is with this, with JDAI, we've been able to significantly reduce our detention cost since we implemented this program. We're still getting, Heather, how much are we going to get in grant money for JDAI next year?
We requested $100,000 and they funded it all at $120.
So we're still getting 100,000 next year. Basically, they're now starting to, the things that, we have to have a coordinator to run this program, and to get the other 100 from the state. They're starting to mandate things. First it was voluntary, you should do this JDAI program, it will save you money, and you know going in that they're slowly going to pull back some of that funding for coordination. The rest should remain in place for the foreseeable future, but we won't get any of the other funding if we don't have a coordinator. We can't do the program without coordination. It's split between Brooke and Heather as co-coordinators. This sheet, on the left in the line, there's a pinkish line and a red line. If you look above that, we've had 50,000 in coordination for 3 straight years. And then in the 25-26 fiscal year, they cut that in half. And then for the 26-27 fiscal year, it's down to 0. So then the next line over, I put for our budget years what the need was for us to make up, since their fiscal years don't match up with our budget years. Then In green, I've outlined the amount we're supplementing from some juvenile funding that we have, juvenile funds that we have. That way, each year, we're not just taking the brunt of all of the fund, coordination funds that goes away. And then in the far right, the yellow was the 10,000 that we got last year. And this year, I'm asking for another 15 on top of that. So we knew this was coming. This is literally the exact same sheet that I gave everyone last year, except for I added those colors so I could point to specific things this year.
And it does save us a ton of money in detentions, doesn't it?
Yes,
Because I can remember when we were doing a lot of that at about, what, $180 a night or something silly, but it's a lot of money per night even, isn't it?
It's more than that now.
Is it now?
It's
In the $200 range?
significant. No, it's probably almost double that.
Really?
Now. But I apologize, I didn't bring that chart. I know we have it, but when I was first starting, we were budgeting like 175,000 on detention.
Yep.
Which line item is that?
Not on my budget, from something in the commissioner's budget. I don't remember,
Karen State, probably.
Yeah, Karen State.
Yes, yes.
State.
That used to be almost 200,000, didn't it?
Thank you, Heather.
Yeah, thank you. 185,000 in 2019, yeah. 21.
So I realize it's a cost, but it's a program that has saved the county money, I believe. And again, we continue to get other funding. But the way they have the program set up is you get coordination, you get funding for coordination, and then for a number of years, and then they pull that back over a time frame. And we've tried to phase it in. We've tried to pay for some of it out of juvenile funds.
This helps. I appreciate that.
Yeah, because, I see 240 days.
Because I hear payback, but it's easier to see it when it's an actual line.
So that's why I'm asking for this, and again, we knew this was coming. I don't know how good of a job I did explaining it to you last year, but we made that attempt.
Last year was $8,000, this year's 25.
But I remember the numbers of, yeah.
And it was really 10 last year. It was just we mistakenly put it across a couple lines. So, and I realized that things are beyond tight. So
They are.
But this is what my ask is. This is why. Here's the numbers.
I appreciate
So,
that.
But we appreciate the explanation, so.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Heather and Brooke do a great job. As you can tell, Heather was here with numbers, and I didn't even ask her or tell her to be prepared.
She knows the drill. She's been here long enough.
We get great reviews from the state, and we're not afraid, though, at the same time, to tell the state that we're not going to do some of the things that they want us to do. We, quite frankly, weren't doing their JDAI or their DEI types of things that they try and push through the program. We told them from the very start that we weren't going to do that, and we haven't, and we won't. So I think we were ahead of the curve on that compared to a lot of other people around the state, including those that are supposed to be leading in Indianapolis. So,
Okay.
any
Well, I
questions on
appreciate it.
anything?
Nope, that was my biggest one. You explained it well.
Thank you, folks.
Thank
Have a good
you.
night.
See you.
Thanks, Judge.
Thanks, Judge. Probation.
Probation.
Judge took all your money, sorry.
I also have another handout for you all as I'm going through my budget. It's sometimes just easier to see things on paper. Whoops, I'm sorry.
This is why we go through so many cases of paper.
That's
So
still like,
for county general for 1,000, we don't have any significant changes other than we took out longevity for a retired secretary, so our new secretary does not get longevity.
That's good.
Yes, and we are asking for a 3% cost of living increase for salary for the probation department.
But that wasn't directed by the state, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, so this would be strictly,
There were no changes by the state from 25 to 26.
which I think was the same on the prosecutors and everybody else, right?
Yes, and also our grant funding that got slashed significantly for drug court and community corrections. So the criminal justice our system took a big hit for 26. Any questions about county general?
Which is crazy because we were advocating for the state to take over more of that cost, not less.
Correct.
I mean, when I say we, the County Council Association and even the Commissioners Association and so forth.
Correct. Yes. It's very frustrating. It's hard to keep a positive outlook about it all. But we're plugging along. We're trying to get creative. We're trying to find good solutions. You know, Judge spoke about JDEI. We're really trying to implement some things at a juvenile level in prevention to try to prevent some of these youth becoming system involved as adults. And it's a long process. It's not a process that can work overnight. It's not something that we may see immediate turnaround. I did print this out because I think numbers are important. And I think, you know, cost of detention alone has gone up 77%. And I budgeted on the low end, the $195 per diem. Our per diems go up to $269 a day to detain a youth. And it was 110 back in 2019 is our base year. So if you look at that number of 132,606, if that was the 77% in today's dollars, that'd be almost $235,000. We would just be using to house a youth in a secure detention facility, which fixes nothing. It's just a Band-Aid. So, Fund 1220, county offender, that's the same. We're requesting $5,000. What that fund is when we have somebody transfer out of state for probation, a compact fee is assessed for every case. It's $125. Half of that goes to the state, half of it remains with the county. We reimburse the sheriff's department for any time they have to go pick up an offender who has a petition to revoke with a warrant either issued by our court, and they've waived extradition or have a governor's warrant. So it's just our way of being able to help out a little bit for those costs incurred. Fund 2000, that's our adult probation administrative fee. All of our operating expenses are budgeted from this fund. You guys who were here a couple years ago will remember that we did a big switch around with salaries and operating expenses. We took on the operating expenses where the county took on a bulk of the salary. We did ask for increases in travel, mileage, forms, furniture, and service contracts due to just rising costs that we incur. Hotel rooms have gone up. We're now paying more in mileage. Our juvenile probation officers, they have to go visit youth in residential placement once a month. They have to have a meeting with them and document that in a statewide system. As most of you know, one of my probation officers is 6'7", and he does not fit in the county pool cars comfortably, so we do pay mileage out for him. I know. You can relate.
You got, hey,
You can
he's got
relate.
no,
Yes.
he not, no tears.
He's a little wider, he's a little wider,
So-
you know.
You got no tears for John.
He is a little wider. But, you know, and those things, if we're not going to spend, you know, use it, we won't spend it. We have had a grant through Office Support Services that has funded travel and training for the past 2 years for us. So that is why you're going to see some of those numbers like, why are you budgeting more? You barely spent anything. That grant is done in September. So that has been a huge help in letting us go to some conferences.
So, sorry, I'm gonna jump back to general. I just
Oh,
looked at,
okay.
so, you know, you want the incentive, you know, about 17 grand, but I'm looking at your overtime line, and I apologize, I saw it after you moved on. You've only spent about 1,400 this year. Would it, you know, what if we cut this year to 5 and next year to 5? I mean, that almost fully funds that incentive line.
That could. My staff, I have encouraged, and they have really taken advantage of doing flex time. So when they are working the overtime, they are taking that flex time. I will say one thing that may kill us, and I haven't had a chance to talk to the judges, but we did get an email about if you have 15 minutes of call out, you're getting 2 hours. That was a policy that was sent to us recently. And I don't know what that looks like. I will continue to urge staff to flex it out instead of claiming overtime. I will need some of that overtime for the end of the year, which I will come back for.
Yeah, you're at 1,400 right now.
Yes.
So that's why I was thinking if you
Yep,
went
we
to
have been very
5,
conservative, and, you know,
if you
when
went to
Jill sent
5
out.
and then 5 next year, that
Yep.
gives you 10 grand to help fund that 17.
Absolutely.
So
Yep.
just thinking of
Nope,
ways that we
I
could.
definitely, I'm open to that, Kendall.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, sorry.
No,
We'll-
you're
We'll
fine.
go back to the other.
We did ask for a clothing line item out of Fund 2000, which is one of our user funds. We've never done that before. I have been fielding a lot of complaints from my officers, like, we come to work in business casual clothes. So when we go out to a house check, you know, sometimes this is the shoes we're wearing. I've had to throw shoes away because you're standing in bodily fluids and we're asking for some clothing. We don't have anything that also with our clothing that identifies us as probation officers when we go out, and that's important. So we are asking for a clothing line item this year.
What's this fund bring in about roughly in a year?
Oh, goodness.
You knew I was gonna ask.
Let me see if I have it. Let's see.
If you don't have
I
it.
do have it.
Okay.
So year to date, we've brought in about 26,000 in this fund.
So it's about 52 a year?
Sometimes.
And
We
you're-
have a balance right now in that fund of 188,000.
Okay, so it's plenty healthy.
Yes, it's very healthy.
Okay. Just curious. Okay.
You ready for the next one?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry. Yes.
Fund 2002, that is our Superior Court Adult Probation Fee Fund, and we pay 100% of one probation officer's salary and fringe out of that fund. So we're not asking for anything additional other than the 3% cost of living out of that fund. Fund 2051, which is the Circuit Court Juvenile Probation Fund. We budget $1,500 for juvenile programming out of that fund, and then we also budget out of coordination for JDI out of that fund. So JDI coordination's kind of a mess all over the place. We're under a fiscal year grant, which is July 1st to June 30th, so coordination ends June 30th of next year, which has been cut in half. So we kind of had to get creative with also paying for the second half of the grant, because instead of doing like a split pay with both people being paid half out of the grant, both people being paid half out of county general and half out of Fund 2051, we're doing one person out of the grant. We're trying to save Connie's sanity is what we're trying to do.
Understood.
Yes, and then one person out of the user fee fund in county general.
That also helps the employee because the more pay records, like the more funds they're paid out of, they get a separate pay stub for each one, and some of the funding may not reach the threshold, so their taxes aren't withheld as much.
Yep.
So it's to their benefit to have less funds for their payroll.
Yeah. Okay. Good with that one?
And then Fund 2100, which is our supplemental adult probation fund, we did decrease our equipment cost in there significantly. I went back and looked at the past 3 years, and we're just not paying out the equipment costs that we were before, so I got more realistic with that number. We do pay 80% of one of our probation officers' salary and fringe out of that fund, where if you look at the county general, there is one probation officer, she's paid like $10,862 or something like that.
By reducing this equipment fees, is that something maybe that you'd be able to absorb 100% of that? Is that something you could consider?
I think I could. This fund isn't going to last much longer. We are probably going to bottom out on this fund, possibly at the end of this year or some point next year, but we could get creative. The only concern I have is I've always kind of tried to keep that position just open in the county general. Just because I've seen what happens when you run out of money sometimes and you have to come back and ask for that money to come back. So if you guys won't harass me on that in the future, I will move that money.
No guarantees.
You never harass.
No guarantees.
Whatever, come on.
You know I'm still bitter about the United Way thing, right?
Come on, that was fun. You volunteered.
I did.
You know, I don't do anything half-hearted. Okay, so our last one is our drug testing probation fund, 2504. It's the same budget as last year. I was a little worried. We had an outside agency that did drug testing for us. They've all stopped. So we do it here, and it's horrible. But we're making a little bit of money.
Great.
Any questions? Thank you all.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
We'll move back to, I saw Brenda walk in. Come on up, Brenda. You missed your window. You had to suffer. You had to suffer.
I do apologize for sure. So, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Brenda Hamilton, the county treasurer. So on my budget, of course, everything is county general in my office. I do have an increase on the clerical line for Fund 11400. We did lose one of our part-timers due to a sudden death this spring, so we only had 2 that we were using, and I definitely need to have a third person. So I have an increase in that line item. It's also been a struggle staying within the 29 hours for the part-timers. The last thing I want to do is to be sending somebody home and I've still got people in my lobby and we still always have taxes to do. And so I'm going to try to work that out to have a third person in there for next year. The overtime, we did go through quite a bit. I think we went through quite a bit of overtime this spring. Mainly it's all during the tax season, April and May, and part of June when we're doing settlement. And hopefully we won't need very much more in the fall. It's not as busy. We do anticipate having a lot of customers next spring. We had a lot of them this year. We had people coming in to do the appeals in the assessor's office, so that brought more people. They had a lot of questions. So first floor was very busy this spring. So that took us away from our regular jobs and answering a lot of people, email, phones, and in person. I anticipate with the new laws that are changing for next year on the property taxes, that we are going to see twice as many people that we normally do. So hopefully we'll be able to stay on schedule, because the last thing I want to do is to put the auditors in a jam to make them have to rush like we did this year for settlement. The only other increase I believe I have is for outsourcing tax bills. There again, the postage is what's forcing a lot of that up, some of the increasing. I have already started looking at some competition from our tax software or tax printer, so I can hopefully maybe be able to find somebody that's can do as good a job at a less cost. But so I did do an increase there, but mostly that is because of the postage continues to go up. I did want to bring to your attention down at the bottom, fund number 39800, that is for miscellaneous services. I keep throwing in this $500 or $550. That is a bank fee when our main bank finally gets positive pay. It just keeps getting pushed to another year and another year and another year. So I do not anticipate that they're going to have it ready again this year. But I do have it in the budget again for next year's.
So we could probably return that 500 this year? It's
I
not a
believe
lot of
so,
money, but-
yes. I will double check with Cindy Krumenaker or Matt Gould to double check that they're not going to be able to push that for this year, or if they do, that they can cut our cost. Okay. Any questions on the county general?
I don't have general, I do have questions, so we always make so the one side of it is the revenue side on the investments. And I've talked to Jill about it. It'd be good, I know you handle a lot of them, right? The
Yes.
investment side. Maybe try to get with Jill and let's see if we can't get a decent forecast. I know we just kind of swag it a lot of times, but I think it's important,
Right.
especially facing some of the deficits we've got looking at next year.
Right.
To maybe forecast out
Okay,
a little more
okay.
educated, I guess.
Yeah.
And again, I still want to be conservative, but I want to make sure we're semi-realistic though.
Right. I've been staying in contact with 2 or 3 of my bankers. Travis Penrod at First Federal. He's very good at giving me ideas, whether are we ready to go into long-term, put any of that in, and it's not. Short-term is still where the higher rates is, and they're beating out all the competition, including the state. So we've been very, very lucky.
Yeah, I mean,
So far.
the results have been excellent, and
Just
that's where I'm like,
know where that forecast is going to be,
can we look at the
yes.
next 18 months and see if we can't
Okay.
forecast just a little
Okay.
more granular on that?
Yep,
So,
all right. I'll
Great.
see what we can do about that.
All right, thank you.
Okay, sure. The treasurer's expense on our elected officials training fund, I'm just leaving that the same at 1,900. I don't anticipate having to use all of that because I'm the only one that's going to meetings right now, mainly because both of my deputies have parents that have been very unhealthy. Warren passed away here this last month, so they've not been able to leave town to go to places, and so that's been very understandable. So I'll probably just leave that the way it is at the moment. Anything else do you have any questions about?
No.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Okay, with that, we'll pause until tomorrow night at 6.
Pause.
Thank you, everybody.
I like that.